We've been talking this morning about the Prison Officers Association really complaining about this £3 million to protect prison guards as being no replacement for staff. Now, the government has said 1,200 police staff have been recruited, but admits that's below their target of 2,500. Let's go to our central London studio. Former prisoner and senior advisor at Prison Consultants, Steve Dagworthy. Steve, good morning to you. £3 million then for body cameras, for a new style of handcuffs. Is this really the right way to protect prison officers?
Well, I don't think so. I mean, whilst it's difficult to argue the fact that we should be keeping prison officers safe and in fact making prisons themselves safe, I think money should be spent, or we should be looking at ways in which to reduce violence in prison as opposed to adding to it by bringing in tools and weapons to fight back, as it were. I mean, there's other ways to do this, really. I mean, the reason why we have this such high level of violence at the moment is really down to the cuts that have been brought about over the recent years and the reduction in staff, and it's caused, situations of idleness and squalor and despair in prisons, which is bringing these conditions about.
So, that would go to the argument then that any investment is going to be better spent on, getting more staff in effect. Is that what you're saying?
Well, we need to readdress the balance of prisoners and prison officers. Do you know, there's a very simple answer to all of this. There was a fantastic report written by Jonathan Aitken and co-authored by Judge Samuels for the Centre for Social Justice recently, and they put forward a 10-point plan to reform prisons, and at its heart was actually looking to redress the prisoner numbers and actually look to start releasing prisoners who have served the punitive part of their sentence and whose sentences can be safely commuted back into the community. It would save probably hundreds of millions of pounds in taxpayers' money, produce a far more effective system, and actually the net result is reduced crime, because what's happening at the moment, what we're actually doing is we're fueling reoffending, we're fueling problems within the prison service, and actually what we're creating are wings that are turning into war zones. So, is this the answer? Is weaponising our officers the answer to the problem? I think not.
The argument is going to be there that you need to provide that level of security for those people working in what is turning to be an increasingly dangerous environment. But it is very concerning to a lot of people that the attacks on prison officers do seem to be on the rise.
Yes, but as I said, there's a reason for that. The reason for that is that the investment's been taken out, or the funding's been taken out to help prisoners in their reoffending. Look, I've been in prison. I know what it's like. A prison wing can work harmoniously. It can be peaceful. There can be, if there is respect both sides of the door, the prisoners can respect officers and officers can offer some respect to prisoners. If prisoners have got something to do other than laying on their beds all day long in a cell designed for one where there's two people in it, which is effectively an open toilet, because as I say, there's a toilet in the corner. If you're stuck there for 23 hours a day with nothing to do, you're treating prisoners like animals. It's hardly surprising that they're coming out fighting, is it?
Steve, you make a valid point. Thank you. I'd love to know what you think about Steve's comments.